Cocaine Bear. I got mixed feelings about this one. Starring O'Shea Jackson Jr., Ray Liotta, and Isaiah Whitlock Jr. Several other big talents were in this also, but those were the guys. Those are the main guys. I want to say I like this movie. I went to the movie expecting it to be garbage. I knew it was just going to be trash. I was just going to have some fun, spend a day out, see a movie or whatever. But this movie had the audacity to be better than I was expecting. So this is based on true events, okay? Drug dealers are running drugs in an airplane in California. And the airplane's going down. So the pilot is throwing all of the drugs out. Great big duffel bags filled with cocaine. Throwing it out. And he hits his head before he jumps out of the plane himself, so he doesn't pull his chute and he dies. So they don't get any information from him because the police eventually recover the body. When they realize that cocaine has been, splattered all over the woodland area. So they begin a search to try to find it. A police officer in particular has been following and trying to catch the leader of this particular drug ring, directly related to the cartel. So they're like, we gotta get that dude, man. Unfortunately, when the drugs hit the ground, a gigantic black bear, tears into one of the bags and ends up sniffing and eating some of the cocaine. So, a regular dude on drugs is difficult to stop. A regular big dude on drugs, the police would be, they got to tase him repeatedly or shoot him repeatedly. We've all heard stories and seen movies about stuff like that. This is a 900, I'm assuming 900 pound bear, 500 at least. And it's on cocaine. It's on cocaine, man. So it's way more aggressive and way tougher to stop. And it's a crazy bear. And it's true stories. So the drug dealer's like, you underlings, go get my drugs from the woods. But he decides to go out there too. Now, of course, they don't know exactly what happened with this. It's a true story, but they don't really know what happened in the woods. So they're taking artistic license and they're saying this, that, and the other. But that bear, man, it was terrifying. It would jump out and rip people to shreds. It was hiding behind stuff and, almost running right up a tree. I have no idea what a bear would be like on cocaine. But this movie made me say, yeah, man, that's probably what it would be like. Something very similar to that. So they had multiple characters. This is something I didn't dig too much. They had multiple characters, and those characters, because they didn't really know what happened when they were creating the story, so they had to just kind of make it up. The characters they weren't really flushed out. They tried to make a joke here or there, and I could see where the joke was supposed to go, and it did not hit. It also could have been that there were only like 3 people in the movie theater, but when there's more people, everything's more exciting. The jokes are more funny because everybody's playing off of each other's energy, but there was only like 2 people in the movie theater. So the jokes, they just really didn't hit for me. The story didn't really hit for me. I didn't feel anything for the characters. I enjoyed watching them get ripped up and bit in the face and what have you. You know, shot in the head. Yeah, it was interesting, you know. But anyway, honestly, it was a better story than I expected. Mostly because the very first thing it did was it had across the screen based on a true story, and then they had the actual news people come out. I don't know if that was Dan Rather or whoever it was, but it was in that time period. News guy came out and he's like, yeah, cocaine fell from the sky and landed in the woods in California. And then they showed the actual news footage of them interviewing people and what have you. And I was like, oh, this is real. This really happened. I would not have enjoyed being in those woods. I don't go to the woods anyway. There's nature all through the woods. I don't want none of that. But I would not have enjoyed being in the woods with a freaking bear on cocaine. It just wasn't nice. But it was an interesting story. They had some interesting characters. They just weren't completely fleshed out, so you couldn't feel anything for them. They could have took those interesting characters, made a more interesting story, but I think it would have pulled away from the fact that there was a bear on cocaine in the woods killing people. So I guess they had to kind of back away. Like with Godzilla, if they had too much concern on the humans, people would be like, well, is this Godzilla? Is this a Godzilla movie? Where's the monster? I think they had to pull back from the people a little bit so that you could feel the terror of the bear. You knew the bear was the star of the show. Or some of those people went in a bad way, man. But, so they got to go into the woods and they got to get that cocaine, and there's a bear out there, man. So what do? I mean, you owe the Colombian drug lords the money for the drugs you've received, but there's a bear that's got your drugs, man. That's a tough place to be in. You gotta go get the drugs, but you don't want to deal with a bear. That's when you pack all your bags and move, change your name, and try to live, you know, in Guam or someplace like that, and hopefully you don't get found. But they'll probably find you. But this was a good movie. It was a mediocrely good movie. It was good enough. This movie was good enough that I would give Cocaine Bear seven, almost 6.5. You know what? I got to start doing halves, because some of these things are just over or just under the number. But right now, 7 bags of popcorn, man, because that's what I think about that. But more importantly, what do you think about that? Now that we talked about the video, let's talk about it some more in the comments. As always, if you like the video, if you like the content, subscribe. And then like.
Popcorn passport. Get your popcorn passport.